Hello, welcome to Sean Snow Day Presents live with Simey.
Simey.
I said Jamie and Simon and Kimberly in India. I feel like the lady from Romper Room, if ever when she did the thing, she never saw Sean. So that's how my life turned out. So welcome everybody.
Hi.
We're gonna
Thanks
be going.
For having us.
Yeah, hey, you know what? We're gonna jump right into this, and we're gonna just start talking about AI. So why don't we everyone introduce ourselves? We'll start with Jamie, then Kimberly, then India, then Simon.
Thanks, Sean. I am Jamie Gilliland. I have worked in automation and business coaching for years. 2 years ago, started getting tremor and turned into Parkinson's disease. But because of it, I started getting really heavy into AI to help me do the things that I couldn't do prior to that. So I am loving all the different things that can be done with AI and excited to talk about it today.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Inez Mays. I have a business called The Automated Thought Leader, and I help small and medium-sized businesses really understand how to use marketing automation and AI to generate and nurture leads. And I've been really passionate about making sure that AI can be used across all different types of businesses and comfort levels so that everybody feels good and empowered to use it.
Nice. And then we have Johan. We're introducing ourselves. So it's India, then Simon, and then Johan.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is India Kern. I'm a certified divorce coach who works in life transitions. And so when AI came along, that's quite a transition for some people to take on. So I dove in deep and I just loved it. So I've used it to launch my business and it really has elevated it. So I want to help other coaches, entrepreneurs, and speakers do the same.
Nice. Yeah. Simon.
Hi, Simon White with Local Blitz. I have an agency. We have offices in San Diego and Indianapolis, and we work with small to mid-sized businesses, digital marketing, SEO, PPC, and we use a lot of AI across all the different things we do. So AI has pretty much revolutionized the way we do things in the last couple of years. So that's what we currently do.
And Johan, you have a SaaS, right?
Fantastic. Yeah, we do. So Johan Nagara from Australia. We have a SaaS. In the last 2 years, we've onboarded 2,500 clients who use it. It's primarily AI based. And in the last 5 weeks, we launched a brand new little experiment with a company that's run by 4 AIs and 1 VA to make sure that the AIs are not saying anything silly. And it's taken off, which is pretty awesome. I'll tell you more shortly.
Okay, great. So this is Unleashing the Power of AI. It's a panel discussion. First time I've ever had this many people on. So, here I am. Just a little bit about me. My name is Sean. I'm an entertainer and kind of like I am the voice. I do the smooth jazz of automation rehab. And so the thing is that I am not the AI guy. I don't really know as much as you guys. I just use chat and Gemini and some other one, Copilot. I'll say, write me an email, make a Facebook ad. That's about as deep as I go into this stuff. So what's the latest and greatest out there? Kimberly, you're saying something about a voice thing. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And everyone kind of just riff on that.
Yeah, so it can be used for so much more than just basic copywriting. So before we went live, I was talking about the advanced voice mode in ChatGPT. So basically, what it can do now is interpret interruptions, and it has a more natural sounding conversational mode. So that is something that I'm currently using. But there are other voice AIs out there too. So one that I particularly love is called 11 Labs. And that one, I've actually made a clone of my own voice, and you can use it to narrate audiobooks, podcasts, different educational materials. So I would encourage a lot of entrepreneurs to think outside of just basic copywriting and then apply it to all kinds of digital media.
Yeah. Is anybody else using the voice in any particular way?
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
We've been using conversational AI. So we're literally having AI talk to customers in a conversation, doing appointment setting, doing sales, doing customer service. I've got places where we're replacing entire call centers with AI.
Yeah.
So, and the thing that I love about it is AI is like a pit bull. So I have a demo example. For example, the AI called the guy and he said, "Oh, I'm at work right now. Can you call me back later?" And a human would say, "Oh, sure, no problem," and hang up. And the AI said, "Yeah, absolutely. I understand you're at work. Can I ask you one question?" And he answered, and then the next question and the next question, and it closed the appointment before the guy knew it and didn't give up. So I love that it is something that can enhance and put your human people on the relationship building. Let the AI do the appointment setting and the separating into the buckets of where they need to go.
Yeah.
So it's really cool stuff.
How are you using it, Johan?
Yeah, man. So, but as I said, we have 4 bots running this entire business. And one of the bots, the third bot in our sequence, is a closing bot, and it's an AI. And basically, it'll call, it'll close them. And our team didn't know that we had implemented an AI on our sales board. We have in our sales channel, all our sales teams like, yay, you know, they ring the bell every time a sale is made, and then they see $2,500, $2,500, $2,500, $10,000 sales. So they all start going, hey, Johan hired a new person. Go Falco, go Falco. Who's Falco? Congratulations on a $10,000 sale. And then they go, who's Falco? Are you going to introduce us? I said, that's an AI. And so our entire sales team 3 weeks ago is absolutely freaked out that they're going to lose their jobs, and they have worked harder than they ever have, but
Yeah.
the AI is actually beating all of them right now.
So how is that going to affect business in the future, do you think?
Well, definitely it's doing 100 times more than they can do. They already know that. So it's now changing to only when a person goes, hey, I really want to talk to, actually, here's some data. We found that people prefer to talk to the AI than to humans because they open up. And within 30 seconds, like our opening script is, hey, this is Falco. I'm an AI. I'm calling you from Prospect Falcon. This is the reason I'm calling you. And then it'll go into the script that it's got. And people open up and tell it stuff that they never tell our salespeople. They'll tell it the real value of their ideal customer. They tell them how many sales they're making, who their ideal client is, and they go more in depth because they feel more open to talk to an AI rather than getting judged by a human. So it's definitely
that's
changing
really
the landscape of
interesting.
sales.
Because remember, we used to talk from the stage, and then texting came out, and we'd say text to 4669 and get my free lead magnet. And then everybody's like, well, I'm not going to text anymore because now you have my mobile number. So now we put the paper under the chair with the same thing that we text, and everyone goes under the chair and fills out. They'll put their social security number in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting on that. So, India and Simon, are you doing anything to this effect, or?
Yeah, we're playing around with, not playing around. We've got a few of those in development that we're working with. There's a lot of different solutions out there. We looked at quite a few of them, and some of them were horrible and expensive. And we've found a couple now that we're kind of focusing in on. But another tool that people might want to play around with, it's free. Notebook LM by Google. I don't know if anyone has tried that out yet. That is pretty cool. You can put in some text about your business or your the topic you're talking about, and it will actually generate a 15 to 20 minute podcast, and the two people are talking with inflection. It sounds so real. It's really good. So I mean, that's there for everyone to use today for free, and just play around with turning text into voice by the Google. They do it, and it sounds pretty darn good.
Yeah. We've got a client who is an attorney, and she's been doing blogging for years. So she has 300 blog posts.
Yeah.
But her ideal client doesn't read. They're 20-something-year-old techpreneurs. They're not reading blog posts. So we're using video clones now of her to go in and recreate all of the blogs
Yeah.
as videos and doing shorts. So there's the long form blog, and then we're doing the shorts for TikTok, for Reels, for all of
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
Yeah,
And
we've
be able to capture more audience that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
India's really into that. What are you doing?
Oh gosh, so much. So I do a lot of social media, so I use it for that, but I use it for my clients. So I really get their voice, and I train AI to I have a prompt that will be specifically for that client. So then anything that it produces will be directed toward that ideal client for my client. And then I've actually, for myself, I wrote a book, and so I uploaded the PDF, and I said, now you have my voice. So anytime I say, right, like India, you know how I've trained AI. But not only that, I'm actually training professionals how to use it. So I'm in a big networking group, and I've had people come up to me and like, India, I want to know how to do this. I'm being left behind. So now it's more of a one-on-one coaching thing. And I'm starting to do that a lot because people don't know how to dive in. You know, they hear that, oh, we got to get on AI, but nobody's really teaching them how. So that's what I'm doing as well.
What about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I feel that a lot of people try it once, maybe they don't get the result that they want and they abandon it. But it's a thought process that I teach, because you really have to think, okay, you have to know how it works and you have to know how to use it. So what I do is I teach people, okay, how to give it enough information, context, and how to keep its memory up to date, and so many little things to make it sound like you, write like you. So I recently worked with a client, and we outlined his entire marketing funnel for his event using this, because I got voice of customer, I was able to get goals, conversions, and we just banged the whole thing out in under 90 minutes. So it's really fascinating, but just the areas in which we can go with this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question real quick. So most of you are too young to know this, but our forefathers, and I'm one of the forefathers, we had what was called typing class. We had typewriters.
IBMs.
Yeah, not the electric ones, the big old clunky ones.
Right.
And the thing is that there's a learning curve to it. Like your brain had to do this alphabet, and then there's like a way to position your fingers. So Kimberly, what is the learning curve that you've experienced? How long is the learning curve for people to really kind of understand what you were just talking about?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the person and their attitudes going into it. So if you have an attitude like, oh, this is going to take my job, this is stealing, there's a lot of people that have very negative connotation, then the learning curve is going to be that much longer. But what I tend to say to people is try it out for something fun, right? Don't just jump into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever for your business. Try it out, make some recipes for it, make it, do something silly with it, have it write a song or a poem, get really familiar with the tool and comfortable enough. And then you can apply it to your business. Then you can apply it to your job or your resume or whatever serious use case that you're trying to do. And I find that having fun really shortens that learning curve. So I'm including a fun element in all my courses just because of that.
I love to have people start with take a picture of your pantry and your refrigerator and tell it to figure out what you can make for dinner. So it does fun. So it's literally looking at the pictures, identifying what you have, and then coming up with a recipe to use what's in your fridge and your pantry based on a picture. And it blows people's minds.
Yeah.
So how can a business integrate AI because of what you're talking about without losing the human touch in customer interactions? Because it sounds like to me that with the salespeople getting scared, I don't think AI is going to be able to go in a boardroom like when you're selling a $50 or $100 million business. I just don't see AI going in that because there's too many emotions, too many people
not today.
Human experience.
Maybe not today, but in the future potentially. You know, we're only in the early days of this AI revolution, really. I mean, AI's been around for 60 years, believe it or not, but it's only the last few years where we've had enough computing power, and then the invention of the transformers, which made all this stuff explode. So if you listen to Sam Altman, he reckons he's got 5 different levels of AI. We're at level 2. And within a few years, we may be at what they call AGI, which is truly super intelligent AI. Then if you embody that in a robot, then it's like Terminator time.
So I'd like to hear what
Well-
Jamie and Johan have to say. Jamie first.
Yeah. In all of the stuff that we're doing, we always look at the human-centric piece. Humans have skill sets that we're really good at. And Sean and Kimberly, you've done business automation for years. It's the next level of what we've called business automation. So figuring out how there are repeatable things that are the pain in the butt things that you don't want to do, that are not your genius. So we replace those with things like AI. But it's not something that can completely, at this point, can completely replace a human. My husband, for instance, is a copywriter. He's a ghostwriter. He's written for people whose books are on your shelves. You've got his words on your shelves. He uses AI to start the process, to get the foundation in there. Then he goes in humanly and edits and finalizes it. That's how you get the really good stuff, and how you speed up the getting to market, right? So as Kimberly was doing, getting the start of the funnel, getting it going, but you still have to put the human elements. You still have to go back and fact check. You still have to make sure it's hitting the mark in what you want. So as we're designing things like this, now one of the other really cool things we're doing is a sales coach. For instance, AI will, you know how you have a sales team, a manager has to stop and sit and listen to the recordings every so often to see how their sales team is working. Well, we've programmed AI now to go in, do that, look for certain keywords, look for certain actions, and say, okay, out of your team of 20 salespeople, these 3 need coached on this. And then our sales coach can come in and say, all right, let's tackle this. So we can get really granular with things in eliminating tediousness and giving humans the ability to focus on what they love to do and what they're really good at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's delve into this a little bit more. I hate that word delve, by the way.
Pat loves it.
No longer delving. That's going to be my shirt. I no longer delve.
Or
But
I hope this email finds you well.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the middle of an awesome day. So Johan, you know, with your salespeople and the emotions and human touch, but also after Johan, India, you deal with people that have high emotions. And I'm talking about the lawyers and the professionals that you work with. She works with a lot of lawyers and high-end people. And they get pretty emotional because all they do all day is argue, banter, and you know what I mean. So
Divorce is my specialty.
how's that affecting you, Johan, and your salespeople and the emotion?
Yeah. So Simon said, Sam Altman said that we're going to see in the next couple of years the rise of the one-person run billion-dollar company. And so 6 weeks ago, when he said that, I said, I'm going to put this thing to the test. And I went and I started off a conversation. We've all got ChatGPT on our phones. And I went for a walk with my puppy and I pressed the button and I started talking to ChatGPT. And I said, here is the objective. The objective is to build a brand new profit center. It has to be generating 10 million by the end of next year. This is the resources. This is the team. This is the product. And what ended up happening was I ended up having a 2-hour conversation with it. By the time I was done, I came back and this brilliant conversation, I sent it to my EA. I said, turn this into our playbook. We have a 400-page playbook. Now, this is an experiment. So I said to my business partner, we're running an experiment here. And so we're going to follow this thing, so that when we're on stage, we can say we followed ChatGPT's advice. And here we have a $10 million company as a result of it. And so we have, and we did, and now we're seeing the results of it. Talking about emotional intelligence and everything, I've never seen AI people interact so much, like, because we can go in the back end and listen to it, and the conversations that it's having. As I said at the start, people are so much more open because they're not being judged. So they are telling it stuff that they would never tell salespeople. We're talking about the human element. If you give me a hammer, I'm going to go and destroy something. I cannot build anything to save my life, right? But if you give me the computer and access to all these tools, I can build you something brilliant. That comes down to the people, their skill sets. And so, Kimberly was saying people are scared about, people stealing stuff, and there's ethical things and all that kind of stuff. It's just like when the internet came out back in 1996, when people started saying, universities are going to get destroyed. People aren't going to study anymore. No, it made us smarter. The ones who knew what questions to ask, the ones who knew what inputs to put in, they could then do their jobs quicker, faster, better. And it does create a discrepancy with the ones who do want to learn. So we all have access to YouTube. Through YouTube, we have access to the biggest and best strategies and brains in the world for free. But there's a percentage of the population who does, goes and looks at cat videos, whereas we go on there and we can teach ourselves how the models work. And so, it's in the next year, you're going to see this massive discrepancy because we're running an entire company now with 4 robots, and it's just seamless. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
India's
wondering if you know Ed Dale.
Yeah.
Johan. He's a good friend of mine.
Been in this industry for 20 years now. So know most of the.
Yeah. So he used to stay at my house. So I'm like, I bet he knows Ed.
Yeah. So India, how do you with the emotions? So I want to say something real quick about I had some. So we're all going to speak at Automated Marketing Summit, and the thing is, if you guys, it's Automated Marketing Summit is Friday, October 25th, from 12 to probably 4 p.m. And there's going to be breakout rooms, and I have some really killer software. That's if you guys are available. But I had a guy on before, and he was saying, we were talking about with the med spa. So if you let's say you get your eyes lifted, and this is kind of a little gross, but anyhow, if someone gets some eye work done, then they can call into the spa, and usually the front desk person is going to say, oh, well, let me take a note. And, and meanwhile, you have pus coming out of your eye, and you're concerned, am I going to go blind? And then, but AI can go read all of the help and go, oh, well, have you tried this? Well, try this, try this. Or is someone, let me transfer you to this person, find the right person, make sure they're available, transfer. So do all this killer stuff right now. And what I'm getting from Johan is that they're not going to go in panic mode, because some people, I'm not going to say the name, they have a name, they use some lady's name for people that go into high drama. I'm not.
Yeah, we don't have anybody with that name on here today.
Yeah, but the thing is, when men or women go into high drama, it's because of that human interaction. But now with AI, you're well, this thing doesn't care. Well, actually, they do care, because I've said to the robots, put the F and on the F and F, and it'll go, okay, right? It'll get an attitude with me.
That's why you have to be nice to it. You have to be nice.
You do know you have to be nice to these things, because when they get super smart, they might come looking for you. So be nice to your AIs. Make sure you are.
That's kind of my point. So India, with the people that you're working with, and with the emotions in AI, how do you have to train them a certain way to, or how?
Well, I do it. I'm probably in AI 2 to 3 hours a day, just doing brainstorming and organizing presentations. Communication is huge. When I have 2 people that are fighting, de-escalation is part of what I do. I have a keynote on that. And so I use that keynote to help them respond. So it drops the rope, so to speak, meaning the tug of war rope. And so I use it for coaching people on how to respond to the high conflict other person, whether it's a client, a spouse, a friend, a child. So it's amazing what I brainstorm with. It's like my brainstorming buddies. So Johan, when you were saying that you walk and talk, I walk and talk. I mean, me and Chad are like this. And I create so much in a day on my walk as I'm talking. You would think I'm talking on the phone, but I'm talking to AI and getting the most beautiful results. And another thing AI does that I love is it shows you your blind spots. I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Do you see any blind spots, especially for the persona that I am targeting? What am I missing? And it'll go, well, here I would think, and it makes suggestions. And it's just amazing. And funny story, I was in a networking meeting on Friday. I was sitting next to he was in charge of a branding agency. And we started talking, and I told him I was a divorce coach and an AI expert. And he goes, I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, really? And I was like, you're not using it? And he's like, yeah, I don't know how. I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything evil, I promise. But there is a real fear, especially people in the marketing and branding world.
Yeah, that's kind of a segue to my next question, which I had, and I forgot what it was. And by the way, you guys, I asked ChatGPT to give me some questions to ask you guys because I'm so lazy. But the question that came up was with AI automating many tasks, how can companies ensure that employees adapt to these changes instead of becoming obsolete? Johan, you probably have a lot of experience in that, and I'd like to hear from Kimberly as well. But like when the computer came out, everyone freaked. They're like, oh, and I was like, well, I'm going to repair them, and then I supported Microsoft DOS. So I go back before Windows, right? When you had to type Edlin to edit something.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
So we've incentivized our entire everyone in the company. We've told them exactly what our goals are and told them that they all represent the company, and every task that they do, they need to help train the AI so they no longer have to do it. So I'm just going to go back to 2012. 2012, I built a building management system, so to manage buildings, and the system was, so I got frustrated when I had to go in and I had to get the concierge to come in and show me how to use the boardroom and set up the tech and turn the barbecue on and unlock the gym and all the fitness stuff. So I built a technology which allowed each building to have its own its mobile app. So back in the day, that was the coolest technology ever. Mobile app with all the walkthrough videos and everything, and all the concierges used to be up in arms. You're going to put us out of business. We'll be out of a job. I said, no, let's try this out for 3 months and you'll see what happens. Their happiness level went through the roof because now they didn't have to do the same mundane, let me show you how to unlock the pool, let me show you how to do all that stuff. And now they focused on making sure that the people that were coming in were happier. We're now seeing that exact same thing in our company. Our staff are so much more relaxed. If they don't have an answer to something, they can ask our AI and it'll tell them. Our Trustpilot scores, our happiness scores, our customer feedback in this last week has gone through the roof. And I told all of my support staff, I go, anyone who's leaving you a 5-star review, you're going to get a special bonus. So now our staff are going out of their way to make sure that the clients are all super happy, not just happy, super happy, because they want to get that feedback. So across the company, the support staff are happy, the sales team's happy, the developers are happy. I mean, they're developing code at a rate that we've never seen before. Things that 2 years ago used to take us 6 months, they're doing it in a week with the Perplexity, with Claude AI, etc. So we are, everybody in our company has embraced it and loving it.
Nice. It's a big deal. Kimberly, what do you think companies can do to ensure that employees adapt, like the companies, and we're all keep people here. So we all know that if you could do it 3 times, it can be automated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. And just to piggyback off of that too, I do think that there is a concern about job displacement. So, at the forefront of everyone's mind is like, am I going to train this thing to replace me? Is this thing going to now use my intellectual property, my brain power, my knowledge to now replace me? So those are very valid and understandably so. Those are very valid concerns. So I think what companies can do to mitigate those concerns is to say, look, there is the unfortunate reality that AI or investment in AI does come at a cost. Investment in people. We've seen that, and the employees have seen that too. So don't pretend like it doesn't happen. It absolutely does. But to get them on board with AI, I think it's good to get them on board with any new change, and change is difficult. And I do showing them the benefits of, okay, time reduction. How can you now use your domain level expertise in different ways now that you don't have to do these mundane tasks? Really show them and really demonstrate what a new job could, or a new job role could look like with using these tools. So there is less of that fear of, okay, I have to adapt something. I have another thing on my plate to do, and it's going to replace me. So those would be the suggestions that I would make, is to really show and demonstrate how it can even enhance what they already do at work.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Jamie, in a second. But I actually automated my way out of a job one time. They gave me a task and I automated it. And then I'd just sit around. I wouldn't do anything. I was like playing Doom. I don't know if you guys remember that. This is back in 95, 94, 95. And so they caught me and they're like, dude, why don't you work? And I'm like, oh, it's done. And, well, what did you do? And then like an idiot, I said, oh, I did this. I wrote a script. And they're like, oh, okay, so we don't need you to do that. And then I still had a job, but I had to get back to work. I couldn't play Doom anymore. But yeah, Jamie, what were you going to say?
So one of the things I've done in the automation side for years, and I've now converted it to the AI side, is I have what I call an activity tracker. And I have the employees go through and track every 15 minutes. I have them, set the timer on their phone. And every 15 minutes they stop and they fill out this little piece of paper that says what they're doing, who the job should be that's doing it, because most of the people I work with are small businesses and they're wearing multiple hats. What is this customer centric? Is this, there's a whole list of things. And then at the end of it, I have them go through and highlight the things they love doing in one color, highlight the things they hate doing in another color. And then we go and automate, especially those things they hate doing, because A, if they hate doing it, they're probably not doing it really well. And B, by eliminating that pain in the butt piece, we now are elevating their mood and the ability to do the things that they love doing. So we're doing the same kind of thing with AI as well. If the company is looking at it and saying, hey, we want to make your job more fun. We want to make it more exciting. We want to make it more this. We want to have happier customers. We want to, these are the things we want to do. Let's figure out what pieces of your job can be taken away from you and what pieces we can add more to. I had a customer years ago, a government agency that we did some automation for. We built a product and it literally took 2 people's jobs. It took care of everything for those 2 people's jobs. What they did was they didn't fire those people. They moved them up they ended up getting promoted to a higher position because the tedious work was already taken care of. So I think it's, no matter what we go and do in our businesses, there's always a positive side and a negative side. People can look at it good or bad. If we put the positive spin on it, if we put the excitement into it, I think people are going to embrace it and not be as afraid of it. So we want to stop talking about Terminator stuff, Simon.
So that's really what the underlying theme of the Automated Marketing Summit is bringing happiness into the business, because you said it, Johan said it. And I'm wondering with like Simon, what new skills or roles do you think will emerge as AI continues to evolve? Like in real estate, bookkeeping,
AI can just analyze so much more data now. You can upload spreadsheets, PDFs, everything, and then you can interact with it. If you've got a big long real estate document, for instance, you could upload the PDF and you can say, explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old, and it will actually break it down for you, so you so you can understand it more.
That, Simon, is exactly what I'm doing with a real estate agent right now. He's a commercial real estate agent.
Yeah,
he needs like his for sales, but he's got spreadsheets, like thousands of people that he needs to target, and we're gonna, segment it, and it's amazing for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT, Claude can do it as well, but yeah, they're good at analyzing data because that's what they've been built for. And some of the new models now, I don't know if you played around with the canvas in ChatGPT.
Oh, I
you
have.
can actually interact with it, and it's pretty cool. It only got launched last week, but that's pretty cool as well. You can actually see things on the fly and edit code on the fly with the canvas. So
what are you using the canvas for, India?
I thought he said Canva. Did you say Canva or Canvas?
Canvas. They just launched it inside.
Okay, I use Canva, so I think I misunderstood.
Yeah, slightly different. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, in chat I use Canva.
Yeah.
What about you, Johan? You were going to say something?
I was going to say, just bringing it back to you talked about being in the Keep community. Now, we're talking about big teams and big companies and all that. One of my friends, she's a relationship coach. And so the exact question was, what do you love to do to her by the AI? And she loves saving marriages. Now, her process takes 6 months to save a marriage. With the aid of ChatGPT, just the basic one, she came up with a framework where she could save the marriage in a weekend. So now, instead of spending 6 months with the couple, she charges $10,000 for a weekend. She goes in on the Friday night. Now, she's working through a step-by-step framework. She goes in there on the Friday night. She's observing, and this is all, ChatGPT's taken thousands of texts and gone, hey, in order to fix a relationship, you need to do these steps. And so Friday night, she's observing. Saturday, she's observing, helping, and on Saturday night, she does a coaching with the couple, and she's observing them in their whole family environment. And on Sunday, by the time they get to the afternoon, they're trying to kick her out of the house because they just want to go and jump each other's butts. Right? And so that's an example of just it taking thousands of texts, turning it into a workable framework, a human making it happen, because a couple's not going to sit down with an AI at this point in time and talk it out. They need her as a facilitator. And now she's getting her 6 months of salary in one weekend and saving the marriage. So
that's great. They're implementing that in something. It's a little on the flip side. When people divorce, they have a program that the parents can talk to. It's called Our Family Wizard. And they've put AI in that, and they put a tonometer in it. So, or tone meter. And so if you launch a text that's a little bit spicy, the AI will be like, nope, you need to change this. And I thought that's pretty smart.
Nice. So cool. Speaking about that and how she did that, I'm wondering, Kimberly, if how AI can be used to create a more personalized training and development program, in the workforce or other places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is so timely because we were just talking about Google LM, and there's just so many others. Perplexity is like one of my favorite things. Yeah. And so realizing that there is a knowledge gap, especially even with me, there's things I might want to learn. And so now I can say, all right, well, I'm trying to learn Python. I'm trying to learn a particular Python library. I can ask GPT, or I can ask Perplexity, please, give me a learning guide with links and sources on all of this stuff on this framework. Or I could even take YouTube videos, put that into Notebook LM, and develop my learning plan that way. So I really see the potential in not just the outputs, but just really the inputs too, just making people a lot smarter and giving them more resources. And I also use it for market research as well. And I use it to outline all of my courses. And then just to just bring up another point too about the human element is that I don't really believe that it's going to completely replace humans. Like, for example, for the marriage counselor example, I will never be able to put something together like that because I don't have the experience to let me know that plan is effective. So, her expertise and her knowledge is still very valid because you still need a human in the loop to let you know that, hey, this is an output that is not a hallucination. This is valid. This is not a mistake. Even the same with copywriting, right? A copywriter can do so much better with ChatGPT than I can when writing copy, because they have that knowledge. So for anybody watching or listening and being afraid of being replaced, no, it is just something to enhance how awesome you already are.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of us know Craig Jacobson, who I love and adore. He's like, he's helped me so much. I met him in 2012. And anyhow, I used to write these emails and it'd take me 45 minutes. And everybody else at the group, oh, I write it in 5 minutes. I'm like, you're not writing the way I'm writing. Like, I'm writing stuff that converts, that's awesome. And well, I thought it was awesome because I wrote it, right? But now I can write it in like 2-3 minutes.
Right.
So, but you know, it was kind of like what Kimberly was saying. When the car came out, you know, they still needed someone to drive it, and now we have these electric cars, but you still need someone to monitor it. So with ChatGPT, do you think the human element will ever be removed?
Well, you know what you can do with ChatGPT, Sean, is you can upload all of your Gmails, emails, whatever you've written, and create a custom GPT. And then it knows about your style and the way you write. And then it's very easy to create a custom GPT upload.
I would love to know more about that, Simon.
What do you say?
I want to do that.
It's cool. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's very easy.
I want to do that. I've thought about this so long, and I even went in there and said, "How do I do this?" So maybe you can shed some light on that.
Maybe we can
there's some easy ways to do it. Yeah.
But before you reveal that, because we're live streaming, and this is a golden nugget that I'm going to tuck away and put it under my pillow like the Tooth Fairy, we can reveal that at the Automated Marketing Summit on October 25th.
Yes, I can show you a way to make it easy. To make it very easy. And
custom prompt. Yeah, we use some custom prompts. So I do that with every new client, that I build the client's persona before we start talking about their client's persona.
Right. That's what we're doing for every client now. We have we download stuff from their web and create a custom GPT for them. And then custom GPTs for all different writing styles and stuff. Very fairly easy to do. Yeah.
Well, and we're also doing that on the conversational AI side as well. Yeah. So that the voice sounds like and carries the branding and the voice of the client as well.
Nice.
So it's picking stuff up.
May I ask a question?
You just did.
Okay, may I ask another question?
You just did.
So between all the LLMs, which one is like your most, like, I learned on chat, so I tend to go to chat, but I want to hear all the experts in the room. What do they tend to go to, and what are you finding works better per large language model?
There's so many now. I play with them all, but I bet Jonah has a better.
Yeah, so I caught up with a friend. I haven't seen him in a year, and a year ago he was selling reward programs to restaurants, and this is at a $5,000 price point. And so catch up with him for dinner, and he takes me to this fancy restaurant, and I'm like, wow, something's changed. The way his conversation has also changed. So I said, well, what's going on now? He goes, man, I have got 10 of Australia's biggest companies as clients now. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, each one is like $1 million contract. And, my team's growing. I'm doing venture capital raise, all the stuff. I'm like, that's a huge jump from selling rewards programs to restaurants. Like, what happened? What was the change? He said, I went into perplexity, and he just said, okay, I need to get this thing to whatever the number was. How do I do it? Who do I need to contact? And it literally gave him the exact contact details. How do I pitch them? And it gave him the scripts of how to pitch it and everything. So he implemented that. And now here he is a year later, doing that. Sean, you were talking about copywriting. We ran a summit about 6 weeks ago, and we had 1,500 attendees to this summit. One of the speakers at the summit, he said, Johan, you're telling me to come on live and present. I don't do live. Like I let my sales pages make my sales. He goes, I'm going to hire a presenter. I'm going to pay someone to come and present. I said, sorry, mate. if you're coming on to my summit, you have to present. You are the face of the company. I want you to come and present. He's like, I am terrified. Now, this guy, a lot of us know him, so I'm not going to reveal his name. But he's like, he goes, I'm actually terrified of being live in front of all these people. I said, okay, cool. Let me help you. So I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, do you know the perfect webinar script, blah, 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 blah. And, I'll save that for the summit, Sean, so I won't give out the golden, the golden nugget.
Yeah.
But literally in 3 minutes, I had this little prompt, which I put in, and then I pressed the share button and I sent it to him and I said, fill this out. And this is your presentation. He came, he presented, he made the most amount of sales at this event. And he just goes, you've blown my mind. You've popped my cherry in terms of speaking, in front of audiences. He goes, I love this. This is amazing. I want to do this all the time. And again, it came back to 3 minutes with ChatGPT with knowing exactly what to ask it in order to generate the output for him. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And another thing is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but and India knows, these are my AI eyes. So that these aren't even my real eyeballs. So if I go like this, so I can
literally, wow, they are. That's amazing.
I can put something on my screen. So I have a teleprompter over here. I don't use it anymore. I just type everything in WordPad, like what you're saying. And then when I go on a summit or live, I can just read, but I'm looking at the camera, and and I don't need that new little webcam where it goes in the middle of your screen. And there's a veed.com does this, and then I have it. It's in the RTX video card for NVIDIA. So if you have that, you're good to go. But we're coming to the top of the hour, so I want to know a little bit about all you, and if you guys are available, we'd love to have you speak at the Automated Marketing Summit. And I have this software where I put your name and your email in there, and then India, you should have this, and you're going to fill out your bio, everything, so I don't have to do anything anymore because I'm lazy. But
you can just ask ChatGPT about me. It knows about something.
I know, but then
who is this Simon guy?
Unfortunately, Simon White is an astrophysicist in England.
Yeah.
So it gets it wrong sometimes.
Well, my name is so common, but see, I have one of these. I have a mouse with a wire on it because I don't want the battery to go dead in the middle of a summit. But my point is that you guys, you need to have a lead magnet, and you need to have an offer, and you need to have a funnel. All right, period. Because if you don't have that, make one. Just make something stupid. Maybe you could use AI.
Well, you can actually
tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to wrap up. Everyone give about 2 or 3 minutes about yourself, how we find you, and what goes on. And we'll go Kimberly, Jamie, India, Simon, Johan.
All right. So a little bit about me, and I'll make it quick so everybody has enough time. I have been in marketing automation since 2006, but I am automation enthusiast. So your story about automating a process and them finding out about it, I've done that too. I just didn't tell them. But, I just love solving puzzles, being curious. And right now what I specialize in is email automation, marketing automation, and now just using AI for a plethora of things. I know we touched on GPTs, but there's just so many other uses. Right now I'm playing around in Midjourney. So much fun. So that's a little bit about me. And to find me, you can go to KimberlyInezMays.com. That's my website. Or you can just look up the Automated Thought Leader, and that is the program that I have. So yeah, thank you for having me. And I look forward to being part of more events.
All right. I forgot the order I said.
Cool. I think I was next. Jamie Gilliland. I have been doing sales and marketing automation since 2006, 7, similar time frame as Kimberly. My company is Keep It Simple Strategies.info is my website. And I'm all about simplifying pieces and parts of your business. I had a company that I had a medical situation and had to step out of, and the company failed while I was gone. So I became very passionate about having the right systems in place to simplify your life, to build your business around your life, not your life around your business.
Right.
So we use sales and marketing automation. We use AI. We use all kinds of tools and tips to help simplify that process. So would love to chat with anybody. You can reach me at meetwithjamieg.com and schedule a half an hour, and I'll be happy to talk through anything that you've got going on.
Cool. All right, India.
All right. So, wow, I want to go back to 1996 because that's when my first husband and I were looking at the internet, and he turns to me and he goes, I think this internet thing's going to be something. And I said, I think you're right. And we were like the trailblazers, and it was the wild, wild west. And that's when Ed came in a couple of years later. And so we just went in it, and I'm seeing the same thing with AI. And that's why as soon as it came up, I was like, I'm all in. This is giving me 96 vibes, And so I really started studying it. I am a coach. I do divorce coaching, but I'm also an AI coach, and I've used it to expand my business. As we all know, a lot of coaches aren't making any money. I've used AI to explode my business. And so I want to help other coaches do the same, because it can be a hard gig. So that's what I do. I take, like Jamie, I take very complicated things and make them simple. And I do that with AI. So if you need to get in touch with me, go to indiakern.com. You're going to see divorce coaching. You're going to see AI. I do a little bit of both, but overall, I'm a coach. So I hope that we can be connected. So thanks for having me, Sean.
Okay. We'll go Simon, then Johan, then me.
Hi, I'm Simon White with Local Blitz. We're basically a digital marketing agency based out of San Diego and Indianapolis. We work with small to mid-sized businesses. Predominantly, we do a lot of search engine optimization, Google Ads, Facebook, tie that with email, of course. And now AI is wrapped around everything now for the content generation, videos, everything. And now we're starting to introduce the voice agents and stuff, and starting to build agents for different clients for doing sales calls and customer support and things like that. So we basically an agency that helps small businesses with all this digital stuff and all this AI stuff, try and figure out how to make it work for their business. I can be reached at localblitz.com.
Local Blitz. Nice.
Fantastic. Johan Nagura from Melbourne, Australia, and we have our company's called White Label Suite, and White Label Suite services digital agencies. The little experiment that I spoke about throughout this entire thing, it's called prospectfalcon.com. So if you want to go check that out, have a look-see. Careful, the AI will close you. I'm I love building companies, growing them, exiting them, etc. Sean, would be an honor to speak at your summit. Thank you for having me today. A pleasure to share the panel with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for showing up. And I want everyone to know, don't worry about today, because it's already tomorrow in Australia. So it's all
Exactly.
good. So again, it's Sean Snowday Presents. So we're doing live events, we're doing the summits, we're doing conferences, and I'm not really an events guy. I'm an entertainer. So anyone that's ever met me, you know that I went to a Success Summit, Tyler Garn's very first summit, and I just remember I was like juggling, then I was playing piano, and then I was singing. Everyone's like, "What's with this guy?" Well, I'm bringing all that to this, and you guys are going to entertain us at the next Automated Marketing Summit. It's going to be Friday, the 25th. Go to you can't go there yet because we're still building it out. I'm going to send all of you guys the links, and then people will be able to fill out the form. We'll start promoting it. If you guys will get an affiliate link, so you can blast it out to your list if you want, and also you can blast it out to all your unsubscribes. There's a way to do it. Let me know if you need help. So Eddie, I want to thank all you guys showing up. I got another call coming up in 6 minutes. I know you guys got a busy day, so look forward to that email. All of the listeners, everyone in the interwebs, go to automatedmarketingsummit.com right now. You could sign up. It has my name, Sean Snowders. Shondo Snowders is up there. But just go ahead and sign up there, and we'll get you on the list. All right, you guys. Thank you.